Okay, how many of you can hear me loud and clear? If you can hear me very loud, you can hear me very clear, kindly type I can hear you. Also, as you're joining us, I'd like you to tell me your name and the city you're joining me from, okay? Your name and the city you're joining me from. I want to welcome every one of you to the part 2 of 5 most profitable real estate investment opportunity. Okay, I did the first part last week. I honestly couldn't get the time to finish it, but today I'm going to finish it. I'll also do a recap of what I shared last week, but more importantly, I encourage you to figure it out on my YouTube. You'll be able to find the full part 2 and you can watch it, take your time to watch it, and you will learn so much. You will learn so much. I always share over and over again, do not invest in any business until you have invested in the knowledge of the business. Can I say that again? Do not invest in any business until you have invested in the knowledge of the business. Okay? So do not invest in any business until you invest in the knowledge of the business. And the reason is because oftentimes we waste so much money, right, trying to start businesses that we don't know anything about. And we end up losing all the money and want to play victim. But the mistake is you decided to, just go into business without getting the knowledge. I'm excited today. We're at 600 followers on my Facebook page. 600,000. Come on, guys, show me some love. By the way, I'm not seeing your comment. Can you guys hear me? Is this going fine? I'm not seeing any comments. Is it from my end? I want to be sure that this broadcast is doing very well. Okay? If you can hear me very well, just type I can hear you. Remember to do me a favor, share this video as many times as you can on Facebook, on LinkedIn, across all social media platforms. But if you can hear me very well, just type I can hear you. Okay? I just want to be sure people can hear me before I get into the class. If you can hear me, type I can hear you. Okay, guys, I'm waiting. I want to be sure this show is perfect. I want to be sure you all can hear me very well. Okay, good. So I can see Mayomi Williams, or I can see Augusta Ezemba. How are you today? Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Remember, as you're joining, tell me your name, tell me the city you're joining me from, and share this video. We're only having 16 people, and that's what's getting me worried. I hope I didn't press something wrong. Okay, I will be sure something's not wrong with this broadcast. So what did I share? 5 the most profitable real estate opportunity, most profitable real estate investment opportunity. So I shared about property flipping, basically this is one of the most profitable real estate investment opportunity because you make your money quick, and sometimes you can make your money huge if you understand the principle and the process of doing real estate flipping. In the part 1, I also talked about buy to rent. This is a process where you buy a property, and the ultimate goal is not to live in the property. The ultimate goal is to rent it out and get what we call cash flow, rental income from people who will just be paying you rent on a consistent basis. Okay? And this is one of the most profitable real estate investment you can do. Again, I encourage all of you who didn't watch the part 1 to go watch it. Number 3 opportunity I shared about short let or short stay. I said this is a global game changer. We saw Airbnb take over the world as the largest real estate company without even owning any company. Why? because the technology and the concept was just fantastic, which is that, hey, people want to live in a house and not in an hotel. They want to be able to cook. They want to be able to, just have like they're in their own house. And this concept is, okay, if you own a house, if it's too big enough, you can share with a stranger who is just visiting that particular city. Or you can totally decide not to even, you can have a 5-bedroom and furnish the entire 5 and make the living room common and rent it out to 5 people, right? So this concept it's viral now, even though there are certain cities that regulate it or ban it. But short lease is one of the biggest way to make good money when it comes to real estate. Okay? And then the last one I shared in part 1 was fractional real estate investment. Everybody, some of you help me type the 4? First one is property flipping. Somebody type property flipping. Number 2 is buy to rent. Everybody, come on, help me type buy to rent. I love an engaging class. I love that you comment. I love that you engage me. And remember to share this video as many times as you can. And then number 3, I want you to help me type it. Number 3 is short lets. That's number 3. And then number 4 is fractional real estate. Number 4 is fractional real estate that I shared in part 1. I would say fractional real estate is an opportunity whereby instead of one person buying a whole house, and in the case where you don't even have the money to buy the house, okay, why not just decide to own a fraction of that house? And this concept started with fractional shares. Before now, you must buy a whole share of Tesla or a whole share of Amazon or a whole share of Google. That technology came and now you can own a fraction. So let's assume Google shares $1,000. With $50, you own a fraction of $1,000 full Google share, right? And as the shares increase, you also continue to get your own fraction of the dividend, okay? And this concept has also come into real estate, where I don't have money to pay for a $100,000 house or a $500,000 house. But you guess what? I can put in a 10,000, I can put in a 20,000, I can put in a 50,000 into a particular house, an existing house. And whether it's being rented out, I get a portion. So if it was 5 of us, okay, we eventually get, the total amount of rental income divided into 5, and I get a portion. So it means 5 of us own that one house. It could be 10 of us that own that one house. It could be 20 of us that own a fraction. So each of us own a fraction that forms a whole one. And this concept also involves even in land. In some cases for land, it's not physically shown you, but what happened is that ultimately in future, there will be a maturity period for it. The developers sell the land, they give everybody returns. Or the developer calculate the growth on the land, right? The growth on that property and keep giving you a portion of that. There are always ways around fractional real estate investment. Have you learned something, guys? If you've learned, type I've learned. So today I'm going to be adding 2 more. So instead of teaching you 5, it will now be 6. So I'll add the final one to make it 5. I'll give you a bonus. So are you ready for me? If you're ready, type I'm ready. Come on, guys, talk to Dr. Steven. If you're ready, type I'm ready. So want to go to 2 more today. Profitable real estate opportunity, okay, out there for you to make good money for yourself. And I love this one I'm going to be starting with today, and that is called property brokerage. Everybody type property brokerage. Another word is being a property agent. Now, the word is used interchangeably depending on the country you live in. Now, in some countries, to be a property broker, there's a whole lot of license to it. In fact, in some countries, to even be a property agent, there's also some form of license to it, okay? However, either way, whether you're an agent or you're a broker, what it simply means is that you are the middleman between the buyer and the seller. And this is one of the biggest ways to raise capital. For those of you who don't have cash to start real estate, you want to start as a property broker. Okay? Because what it does for you, it gives you the opportunity to start without having to put in capital, having to put in a lot of money. So people always ask me, Dr. Stephen, I'm going to real estate, but I don't have money. What do I do? Start as a broker. Start as a property agent. But be faithful at it, understand your products, and understand the rudiments of being successful at this. So, I'll give you a couple of tips on how to become a successful property broker. First of all, let me start by letting you know that I've done almost $1 billion in property sales since I started. I've done almost $1 billion in property sales, and for me, the secret that I've used to sell property heavy are the things I want to share with you tonight. Are you ready for me? If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I need your energy, I need your excitement. Come on, show some excitement, guys. Are you ready? If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Remember to share this video as many times as you can on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, across all social media platforms. Get everybody in here. Okay? Involve everyone possible. Okay? Everyone possible. Just involve everyone possible. Okay? Share. Just get this to go viral. We must get people to learn and get opportunity to be well exposed on how to build wealth through real estate. Okay. So, number one secret to being successful as a property broker or as a property agent is called product knowledge. Everybody say product knowledge. So I've seen situations where people want to do real estate, but they just don't know the product. They just don't have a good understanding of what they're selling. They're just interested in commission. Give me my money. Give me my money. It's only in Nigeria. It's so unfortunate, right? That is in Nigeria that you will have vendors, right, call you scammer. It's in Nigeria that property agents, and it just shakes, it just gives me shivers. It's in Nigeria that you see property agents, okay, go and say bad things about the same company they were selling for. And I try to figure my head around those mindset, because you are telling, what you don't know is that you're telling people you're a scam artist. Because how can you call a particular company you're selling for a scammer, okay, when it means you, and then you come on social media and say all manner of things about them? It speaks to your credibility. I will doubt your credibility if you do that. Because I'm going to be saying to myself, how come you're saying so much evil about, because it takes evil to attract evil, right? It takes one evil to attract one evil. So the first thing, and sometimes I've even seen people just say, don't buy this one, buy from this one. Or sometimes I've seen situations where I say, so does he have C of O? Ah, he has C of O, he has C of O. What is C of O? You don't even know. Okay? I've seen situations where people are like, oh, the land is dry land. And I'm like, what are you really talking about? Because it's relative. This whole concept of dry land is good. It's actually relative. There are situations where you should buy a dry land, because there are situations where dry land you should buy a wetland, because there are situations where wetland appreciate more than dry land. I don't know if you know that. If you know this type, I know. If you don't know type, I don't know. How many of you know that in many cases, wetland appreciates more in value than dry land? And I'll tell you a simple thing that happened. when you have a property that is dry, the people who move there first are poor people. Hence, the quality of houses they build there are not solid houses. And because those houses are not solid, it attracts, of course, poor neighborhood. Now, in many cases, when you see, and that's why you see, for example, in London, okay, London is divided by water. You see, for example, in Dubai, the palm, which is an artificial island, okay, in the Indian Ocean, is way, way, way more expensive than the drier desert part of Dubai. Are you learning? Are you putting together now? So places with water always end up being expensive because one, is only rich people who can afford to build in those places. And before you know it, it becomes a colony of wealthy people. Okay, it becomes a colony of wealthy people. So when you, as a property broker, begin to come and say, it's a dry land, as though wetland is bad, as though wetland is terrible, it's technically you're not understanding how real estate works. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to become successful as a property agent or as a property broker anywhere in the world, product knowledge. First of all, understand the particular piece of real estate you're selling. You also understand in detail, the general real estate industry of the country you operate in. And if you operate in more than one country or more than one continent, like in the case of GTEX, we're in the US, we're in the UK, we're in Dubai, as well as in Africa, particularly Nigeria here. So we kind of have to understand the various markets, the intricacies of each of the markets, how it works, and how it applies to us, and how we need to be dynamic, and what the difference from one market to another, the advantage one market to another. You must understand it in detail, and you must be able to teach it. You must be able to mentor people. You must be able to encourage people about it. And this is what will make you stand out, because when you're talking, the customer knows that you know the game. The customer knows that you understand the industry, you understand the sector. There is no property I can't sell because I understand the advantages. I understand the various industries. I understand what advantage this market has against the other. Please, how many of you are getting value, by the way? If you're getting value, just type, I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Remember, please share this video across all social media, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Okay, share. I want a lot of people to join and learn. But if you're getting value, type, I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Right? So, very important that you know that product knowledge is one of the biggest secrets of a property broker or property agent. Number two, be professional and discreet. Be professional and discreet. I've seen situations where property brokers are just not discreet and not professional. They are going to use slow words. They're going to use vulgar words even when a customer is there. They're going to use F word even when a customer is there. You have to learn to be professional as a property. You have to be professional. You cannot afford to talk anyhow. You cannot afford to be on the phone and just divulging certain conversations, right? You cannot do that. Sometimes people are just divulging certain sensitive conversations about another customer, and they're just talking, and I'm just say, no, I can't trust this person. I'm trying to do a property or a deal of $20 million. This guy is going to tell the whole world that I was the one that bought this property of 20 million, and maybe I want to be discreet. Now, there are certain customers who don't mind you to talk about them. They don't mind the whole world to know that they did business with you. Yes, there are people like that. But there are some who are discreet, and they want to be sure that you're a discreet person. Right? That you're not just going to go all over and just up and down. No, they want to be sure. And you have to be able to prove that you're discreet. I have the opportunity of meeting a whole lot of wealthy people in the world. rich people, presidents, head of states, governors, minister, and then we finish your meeting. I only disclose the aspect of our conversation that I know they are comfortable me disclosing. Okay? I only do that. I only do that because I understand that these people want some form of discreetness. Are you learning, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning. So don't just go about talking. I know the MD. I know the MD is my friend. No. I'm going to send a letter. Can you send a letter, sir, to the management? I am also going to forward it to the management. I'll put pressure to see how we can get management to give you some discount. I have a good relationship with the leadership of this company. You see how you are talking professional. The MD, me and him went to school. Is it Jide Arolo is the name. I will just call him now. It's my friend. Hello, Jide. That is not showing professionalism. You don't even have courtesy for the whole MD CEO of the company you sell for. Maybe because you went to the same school, maybe because you are from the same family. You are not just poised and courteous with your words, with your approach. You will lose deals. Number 3, way to become a very good property broker or agent. Are you learning, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning. I want to hear your view, guys. I want to be sure I'm giving you value and you're learning something good from me. Okay? Number 3, and this is very, very important. Your dressing will determine the way you'll be addressed. Your dressing is very, very important. And I call that packaging. Everybody type packaging. You must package yourself as a property agent or a property broker like you know exactly what you're doing. I've seen situations, dangerous situations, where you will see somebody telling people to come and buy a property worth $10 million and they just dress so rascal. They dress so informal and they were going for a viewing. Okay? No, don't do that. I don't even care. Your guest may dress informal. You dress formal. Except they say otherwise. Dress formal. I've seen situations where people tell me they sell property worth $10 million and I check their social media page and they are busy with a glass of alcohol, smoking. And they want me to do a business of $10 million with them. Let me tell you this. Even the biggest smoker and the biggest drinker is not going to do business with you. All right? Because you just understand that you don't understand that you are formal, you're doing business. There's a social life, there's a business life. Right? And when we're doing business, you be as formal. If the client now says, relax, I don't want people who are formal, then you can be informal with them. But you just carry yourself from day one. You just be as formal as you can, right? Except they ask you not to be. Because we're talking about money here. We're talking about business here. So your social media, some of you need to know how to go and do a digital picture where you're dressing. You should go and do a photo shoot. I just did a photo shoot today with my family. You should do one photo shoot a year. Some people do more than once a year, right? You dress up looking good, professional, like somebody who is worth more than $10 million. Let me say this, and you write this down. People will never give you, or people will never do business with you to the tune of an amount they think you've never handled before. Let me repeat myself again. People will never do business with you to the tune of an amount they think you have never handled before. Let me repeat it again. People will never do business with you to the tune of an amount they think you've never handled before. So you have to talk what you're doing. You have to talk big if you're selling big. You have to look big if you're selling big. You have to sound big if you're selling big. Right? And I'll give you a practical example of this packaging concept so that this can be so real for you guys and you will learn. Now, I started our company 14 years ago as a digital marketing company, right? We didn't even need an office. So we then expanded into real estate. Okay? And what was funny for me was we went into real estate and I just carried the same casual approach, casual dressing, casual, casual office. We had an office in Ogba. Ogba is in Ikeja, but it wasn't like the posh part of Ikeja. And it was a there are a lot of offices there. It was a 5-bedroom, funny enough, but it was a 3-story building. There was no elevator. And when in fact, many people complain, panting, getting to our office. I didn't know all those things matter for real estate. It was good for digital marketing. When we were doing digital marketing, nobody accused me of anything. Nobody was worried. I just noticed when we move into real estate, right? People would do business with us and they just worried. They would just be calling. They were just not comfortable. They just had trust issues. And I didn't know. I was discussing this with a friend and said, you are not getting it. Your packaging is not matching up with the real estate you're doing. And I was like, we're in the city center. Ogba is city. When you leave our office, you're in front of the Ogba market practically. And I was saying, he said, no, you need to move to posh neighborhoods. You need to move to areas that are a lot more developed. Okay? You need to move. And he said, why not move to Omole? Omole is not too far from Ogba, right? So he advised that we should move to Omole. And it was tough because, again, in Ogba, I think the renters at that time was a little bit less than 2 million Nigerian naira for 5-bedroom. Now, to move to Omole, it was, as at that time, about 6 million. You can see how big it was just too wide. Well, I tried it, and that was the change of our business. In fact, we had a client who was shouting. He didn't believe us. We were scammers. The guy was based in the US. He traveled down, and thank God we had then moved to Omole. As soon as he got to our new office, he said, oh, I didn't know you guys are this big. Can you give me the receipt to my land? I don't need the refund again. Just by seeing a more, prestigious office in a good location. So apparently, his fear all this while was just about packaging. So we're selling something big, we're selling something very expensive, but the ambience of our office, the ambience of what we're doing just did not match. I didn't even know this. So when I teach you this, it's very key. And that's why even in Dubai, our office is in Sheikh Zayed Road, right? And the ambience is good. It cost us over $1 million dirhams to set up our office in Dubai. Because now I understand that if I'm going to have people spend millions of dollars with me, right, buying property from me in Dubai, the same thing I learned from a Nigerian business I was doing in Dubai, I must be in an office that is in a good location and the ambience is just so good enough to convince my customers they can do business with me, and that their resources is safe with me, and I'm connecting them with a credible company. Are you guys learning today? If you're learning and you're excited, just type, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. Remember to share this video as many times as you can. Share. Hit the share button, and get everybody in here. And then, are you ready for the last part of the 5 profitable real estate investment opportunities? This is the bonus part. So I'm giving you one more to make it 6. If you're ready, type, I am ready, I am ready. Number 6, okay, which is bonus. Anyway, it's called land banking. Everybody type land banking. Okay, everybody type land banking. Come on, type land banking. So land banking is simply the process of aggregation of land for the purpose of investment or development. It simply means you buy land, you leave it for a while, you just keep it there, and then after a while, you sell it when the price is way higher, or after a while, you develop it into housing units and you sell or you rent it out. Either way, land banking is one of the most profitable ways to build wealth. And land banking is also one of the easiest way, right, for people who don't have a lot of money to go get into real estate. Because basically when you're doing land banking, you're buying more of the outskirts, okay, suburb, sometimes the soon to develop, the potentially going to develop area. Look at what's happening, guys. Somebody sent me a message this morning, okay, I say, congratulations, Dr. Stephen. I just saw in the news that the federal government has approved the international airport in Lekki Ekpe. And the person said, you've been saying this for a while, and some people didn't believe it was going to happen. Now it has happened. By just that announcement, property value in Lekki Ekpe axis has just gone up. Up. Are we learning at all? It's just gone up. Just by announcement of the airport. They've not, even without putting a stone, by just the announcement, property value has gone up. And that's land banking. Basically, there are three phases to land banking. There's the undeveloped land. This is where you're just buying bare land. There's nothing about it. There's the pre-developed land. This is a situation where they probably have just announced they'll put an airport, they'll put a free trade zone, they'll put a refinery in that axis. That's pre-developed. It's not been done yet, but it's been announced. Now, there's been planning, you want to rush in. Then there's the developed. The developed is usually when everything's now been built, everything has now been done. So you want to make sure when you're doing real land banking, you invest when it is what? When it's underdeveloped. Okay? That's when you want to, because you will buy the land at a cheaper price at that point. And when it's fully developed, you sell it at a way a lot more money. And that's just simple. It's a simple process, but it can be complex and you can lose money. And I will tell you a few things to look out for when you want to do land banking. Are you ready? If you're ready, type, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Come on, guys, talk to me. If you're ready, type, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. A couple of things to look out for to be able to identify the right location for land banking. Okay? What are the things to look out for? Okay? To identify, okay, this is a good location for land banking. What are the things to look out for? Number one, and this is probably the most important of all, it's called town planning. Everybody type town planning. Come on, everybody type town planning. Now, I've seen a lot of people make this mistake, and it's been the major reason why people lose when it comes to land banking. You went to buy a land that does not have a proper planning. When we do land banking, what we are really investing in is the town planning. Because it's the town planning that gives hope, okay, that property is going to end up good. It's the town planning that we're leveraging on. It's the structure, it's the good road, it's the fence, it's the infrastructure. So how do you know a property does not have a town plan? I'll give you a few ones. Number one, they will not have a layout. They will not have an architectural design. They will not have a development levy. Now, hear this. Some of you will struggle with this. How many of you here hate development levy when it comes to buying land? In fact, you tell people, I hope there's no hidden charges. How many of you hate development levy when it comes to buying a land? If you hate it, type, I hate it, I hate it. Come on, talk to me, guys. How many of you hate development levy when it comes to buying land? I want to hear from you guys. Come on, talk to me. Development levy, estate levy, in some part of the world they call it tax, right? Estate tax. How many of you hate it? You just don't like it. You just wonder that some of these things don't make sense. Let me tell you this. If you're buying a property and they do not include the development levy, you should run. If you're buying a land that does not include a development levy, either they've added to the cost of the land or they are charging for it separately, you should run. Because those are the kind of so-called estates, so-called land banking, so-called I'm buying into an estate that there will be no drainage, there will be no electricity, even the plan of it. Okay? There will be no tarred road or interlocked road. And how many of you know all those lecky houses that during rainy season everybody is swimming in the water? Come on, if you understand what I'm talking about, I understand this. And the reasons why those houses are that way was that people were going ahead years ago buying into lecky, and they were not saying, I'm not buying into a planned location. So I'll give you a story. Okay? I know people who bought into Lekki generally. They bought Lekki Phase 1, bought Lekki Phase 2, and they bought areas that were not planned. They just bought land as for the sake of somebody was selling land. And they bought. Okay? The value of appreciation is not compared. And I know a man who then bought into Nikon Estate in Lekki Phase 2. Right? One bought Lekki Phase 1. Okay? But it wasn't into a properly planned, town-planned estate in Lekki. Today, the value of his property is not compared to another one who went to even Phase 2, and the place is called Nikon. Nikon is so well structured where they have drainage. In fact, they have 2 fences to enter the place. It's so well planned. Some of the richest people live there. And guess what happened? He bought the Nikon land years ago. Oh, this is now 18 years ago. He bought it for just 12 million naira. Right? 15 million naira. Yeah. 15 million naira. No. Yeah, I think it's 15 million naira. He bought it for 15 million naira. As at the day I went there with him, you can go to my YouTube channel. You're going to see this video. I went there, he wanted to sell the same land that he bought for 15 million Nigerian naira. That same land, he was now selling for 220 million. Everybody typed from 15 million to 220 million. And the timeline was 12 years. Yes, at that time it was 12 years. Now I think it will be 15 years ago. Okay? No. Sorry, I'm mixing it. It was 12 million for the land, and then it was 15 years ago he bought the land. That's at that time. So from 12 million to 220 million. Why did he get that level of return? He didn't just get that level of return because he bought in the right location, which is of course true, right? He bought it way ahead, 15 years before that time. And Lekki was a good location. A lot of people were moving to Lekki because Victoria Island land was finished and it was more expensive for people to get property in Victoria Island, and so people were moving to Lekki. Yes, but why he got even way more was because where he bought had town planning. Does this make sense at all? And so wealthiest of the wealthiest are the ones who could afford to live in those areas, who want to live in those areas. And a lot of other places in Lekki were always flooded, were not planned well, did not have good infrastructure, and so they didn't appreciate well. So I always tell people, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Don't buy property and just because you needed to pay. In fact, there are cases where the cost of infrastructure will be more than the cost of the land. Because land varies, land value varies, depends on location. But the cost of construction remains the same across locations. For example, the cost of construction in Lagos State, Nigeria is the same with Ibadan. Cement is the same. Block is relatively the same. The cost of gas is the same. Does that make sense? Are we learning at all? Same thing in Dubai. The cost of cement across Dubai, whether you're buying the cement in Dera or you're buying in the cement in Ajman or you're buying the cement in Sheikh Zayed Road, is the same cost across Dubai. But the land prices differs. So there are times where people are like, oh, how come development cost is even more than the cost of land? That tells you people who are planning. That tells you are buying from an estate that has a brain. They've planned this thing. They figured out. And look, listen. When this my friend bought that land for 12 million 15 years ago, the whole place was waterlogged. They've not even done anything. But those people he bought from said, this is the vision. We're going to do a proper estate. We're going to put infrastructure. We have a plan. And he bought into the plan. Now, as at that time, hear this. Other people were selling the same Lekki Phase 2 for 2 million naira. But he went ahead and paid 12 million. Are you learning now? Okay? Those who bought the 2 million land, some had issues on Monile, some had the land grabbers take the property from them. Those who even got the land, the entire neighborhood was not properly structured. They were not able to derive much value from that property compared to him that paid extra 10 million at that time. But today is smiling more. Have you gained some insight here? Have you learned something? If you've learned, I've learned. Because and it's important that we know this. Whether you're an investor, whether you're a broker, what we buy when it comes to land banking is the future, is a dream, is a town, is a modern city. We're buying into the future. We're buying into an idea that in future that place is going to be mega, it's going to be big, even though right now it's nothing. So we have 4 estates in Ibejuleki, and when we started buying, people told us we're lying to them, we're deceiving them. There's no refinery that will come to Ibejuleki. Some told us there's no airport that will come. People are just deceiving people. When some people come to the land, they will just turn back, angry with us. I am not going to go there. You people are just deceiving people. Well, today, remember this. Write this quote down. Write this quote down. You see, people you call rich, what we call money, is a reward for the risk taken yesterday. And if you hate your current bank balance, start taking new dimension of risk today so that you will love what will be in your bank balance tomorrow. Money is a reward for the risk taken years ago. I'll repeat it again. Money is a reward for the risk taken yesterday. Your current bank statement, the amount in your account is a reflection of the risk you took. So if you love that Dr. Stephen has some money, right, it's because Dr. Stephen took some risk some years ago. If you now also want to have such wealth, then you want to also start taking risk today. And say, call me crazy, call me risky, but I'm buying into an idea, I'm buying into a future, I'm buying into a town plan, I'm buying into a plan of a tomorrow that will give me better returns. How many of you are excited, guys? If you're excited about what you've learned today, just type, I'm excited. Talk to me, guys. Okay? Number 2, strategy that makes town planning to work. And I'm going to end there for today. And this is very, very powerful. And I want everybody to type if you can. Number 2 thing that makes town planning to work is called created environment. Everybody say created environment. So when you buy a 1 acre or 2 acre, we now have a concept for people to own mini estate. And I encourage you to take advantage of our mini estate concept. It's a secret to you building crazy wealth. Honestly, if you can do it, it's going to change your life. It's a risk, but you will thank me for years to come. Mini estate, for example, what you want to do is come up with a created environment. So I have some estate where we buy a large number of land, and what did we do? We say, you know what, we're going to put a golf course there. You know what, we're going to put a polo club there. You know what? We're going to build the tallest hotel there. You know what? We're going to put a cable car because there's a mountain at the back of the estate. So we'll put a cable car that will bring people down from the mountain down to the valley part of the land. You know, just think of a created, what value can I add to it? What concept? What other thing can we bring to this? Right? So, virtually all our estate from next year, we're even starting agro-tourism in some places, and we're trying eco-tourism in some places, right? And it's just, can we do a created environment? That the more created the environment, the more the value of the property goes. Let me give you one more powerful secret to land banking. Transportation. Everybody say transportation, right? Nearness to a major transportation always add value to your land banking. Either it's the rail, either it's a tarred road, either it's the water, right? Once it has transportation, water transportation, air transportation, road transportation, rail transportation, go by it. Go by it. These are things that you look out for. So when I do land banking, I say, is there any major road coming here? So in Bejuleki, oh, there's an airport coming. I'm going to buy. You see it now? Because airport means more development. People want to stay closer to the airport. Okay? What are the things? Let me give you one more. These are things to just look out for, to know whether these are right places for land banking or not. Education. Everybody say education. Everybody type education. So is it close to a university? Right? Is it close to some of the best secondary school or primary school? You know, some form of unique education will always appreciate in value. So these are things you're looking for. Educational facilities, educational programs, you know, university, secondary school that is different, you know, that is unique. Look at our Sherry estate now. It's close to Turkish International School. It's one of the most expensive schools in Nigeria. A lot of wealthy people take their kids there just based on the fact that it's not far from Turkish International School is an edge. You know why? A lot of the people, rich people who put their children in Turkish International School will begin to consider, why not just have 2 plots of land close to my children's school? Why not just buy one? Right? Why not just buy this? Right? So suddenly it begins to bring those community of people around. I'm going to stop here. You guys didn't pay me. Okay? So I will stop here. Did you get value today? If you got value, just type, I got value, I learned something. You want to learn to be grateful. I've shared this a million times. Okay? Be grateful. Gratitude is application for more. When somebody spends their time, their energy to teach you, show some gratitude. Okay? So can some of you show some gratitude? If you got value, show some love sign, type thank you, show some appreciation. It's very, very important to show gratitude for this teaching. You should pay for something like this. These are real-time value you're learning. Remember to go watch the part 1. Just go to Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube, right? You will see part 1 of this training there. These are valuable things that will turn your life around. Some of you want mentorship from me. It's not free. My free mentorship only takes place on social media, like the one I'm doing now, right? After now, you have to pay. You can join. But I have the various categories of mentorship. I have the cheap ones, I have the expensive ones. So it depends on where you are per time. Life is in phases. Men are in sizes. Leave your size per time. But I can mentor you at whatever level that you are in. But don't joke with it. Don't joke with the mentorship, no matter what it is. Even if it's free one on YouTube. So you want to be mentored by me, go to my YouTube. It's free. Right? Start there if you don't have any money. Dr. S. Akita, subscribe to the channel and start watching the video. and your life will never remain the same again. I love you all, and thank you for watching. Good night. Don't forget to keep sharing this video with your loved ones, and I want to thank all the 600,000 followers on Facebook. I love you all. Bye.